Fuck. Rerun. How are we doing, Highway Rivals family? Back with a late night podcast tonight. At least it's late for us.
Welcome back.
Number 3.
Y'all probably see this tomorrow afternoon. Nate, how we feeling to be back?
Feel great. Late night pod. Just getting that content out.
Let's go.
I'm excited. You know, the more content we can put out, that's more for y'all to watch. So we're just going to keep pushing out content as much as possible, really.
Yeah, I know we had some movement in the high school recruiting rankings for basketball today. The NBA playoff games, like game ones were today and yesterday. Wanted to drop in reaction for those for sure, and then we want to respond to some comments, specifically Andrew's.
But guys, hey, for real, like, I know if y'all are seeing it at the beginning of the video, like, comment down below what y'all want us to answer.
Yeah.
Like, if there's topics y'all want us to touch on, like, we'd love to hear
only
feedback.
helps.
So,
Because
feel free to comment whatever y'all think, and even if it's a compliment or a hate comment, we'll take it.
For sure, we'll definitely take the hate.
So,
But we're going to go ahead and roll in with the Nate Ament signing to Tennessee today. We talked about this in the first 2 episodes. I kind of thought there was no shot he was going to Tennessee, but ends up going there. Rick Barnes gets a so-called big name there. How do we feel, Nate, that he's going to be a Vol?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it. I actually had a conversation about this today at Easter. I really thought he was going to go somewhere that was going to get him, in my opinion, more league ready. I thought Arkansas was a better fit for him.
Yeah.
Just like the process and everything that I've seen and heard about Nate Ament. But they crystal balled him there to Tennessee. Rick Barnes got his guy. We'll see what he can do there, but they're definitely not going to get to the Final Four as we've seen in previous years. But what do you guys think about Nate Ament going to the Vols?
I mean, you want me to touch on it or you want to go?
No, you got it, bro. I don't know how to feel.
I mean, personally, obviously, Louisville fan or Kentucky fan, I mean, this whole process was real confusing. The fact, I think, that they had the whole fan stake thing with him, and it was like the fans could get involved. At the end of the day, it really looks like that meant nothing, because I think Tennessee was like one of the lowest out of all the schools on that NIL thing.
I don't know how much of that money he was getting, though. I heard some weird things about that fan stake stuff. It was
It was
a
like
little
free money.
A little fishy.
Yeah.
I don't know how much like donations, but
So apparently what it is
I'll let
like
you
wherever
finish.
he finished or committed to, whatever was put into that, he'd get paid. So I don't know the exact amount on how
so
much it was staked, but like all the money that like Louisville or Duke or Kentucky put
that
into him,
makes sense.
it all goes right back.
Does it run through stake?
I have no idea. It's called Fan Stake, I think, is what it is. It's like an NIL company.
I thought it was like do you know the stake? The
Yeah. I don't think it's that. But
I don't think so either.
back to get on topic, or not to get off of topic. Good job for the Vols, I guess. I mean, in all honesty, I think we were kind of tired of him already just because he was taking so long to commit.
For sure.
But Tennessee got a good basketball player. I mean, we've been talking about this the last 2 pods. I think he brought up, like, don't sleep on Tennessee. He might, end up going there. And then last pod I talked about crystal ball. They're usually right. And here we are.
I mean, Travis Barnum's 94% on crystal ball, so he's been hot this year. That was the first guy to release one. Like I said last episode, I don't really care because he left a bad taste in everyone's mouth now. And I honestly think him committing to Tennessee is super underwhelming. I think that of the 5 schools he had out there, this was like the least intriguing one to me. Like,
I agree.
You didn't really get anything from this, in my opinion. Like, Tennessee's been good for the past few years because they've had the same core for the past few years. Ziegler's gone. Is Gainey gone?
Yeah, he's gone too.
Gainey, like, their whole core is just ripped apart now. Lanier's obviously gone. He was like 24.
I honestly think, though, the reason why he picked up so much attention more than these other 5 stars is because he auctioned his recruitment, and
I don't really think he picked up. He didn't pick up more attention than.
But all
AJ
he was trying to do
went to
is
BYU.
like he was trying to see what the fans would do,
Yeah.
and what they would contribute.
I mean, he made it known pretty early. It's about the money.
Yeah,
He made it known. Like, he's not
but I think
here
that's
to
what
just
it's
play.
all about now. These kids want.
I
the money.
disagree, bro. Like, when you look at Michael Brown's commitment, he made a full documentary about it.
No, don't get me wrong. I think it depends on the program and players for sure. But, I mean, at the end of the day, these kids are going to want to do what's best for them to set up for themselves for the future, you know?
Yeah. I'm just thinking of the other kids in this class. Like, AJ, like,
Yeah.
it's easy to say he did it for the money because he got paid, like, a crap ton, but he also has lived in Utah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like there could be
I
some
can
other
understand.
things there.
There's probably not really even a connection with Nate.
But the church is definitely throwing money, so, I mean, you know, is what it is. We did have Tennessee in our top 25, way too early top 25 for next year's basketball season. Does this move the needle at all, or they kind of just sit in the same? Pretty sure they were 17th or so.
Yeah, I mean, no, not for me. They don't impress me at all. Nate Ament's not going to determine the team's outcome.
Don't get me wrong. I think Tennessee is usually always a competitive team, but I mean, their history shows that they aren't a national championship program.
No.
I mean, they haven't made a Final Four. So, I mean, yeah, you choose to go there, and it's a good spot. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, fan base is huge. I mean, Tennessee, like, it's a big school. It's known for football, but basketball, like, he could have chose a lot more of an elite program with Duke, Louisville, or Kentucky. So,
Arkansas would have been big, bro. Like,
no, and I agree with Nate because it's like,
Calipari.
you know, Calipari would have definitely gotten him to the league.
Just NBAU.
No, yeah, I agree with you, and he would have played Arkansas automatically too. And now he doesn't. There's no guarantee that he's going to go into Tennessee and start.
I disagree. I think they're about to make their whole team about him. And I watched him in the McDonald's All-American game.
I think
And the Nike
he
Hoops
shows
Summit.
flashes of being extremely
Like,
great. He does show flashes, but I
His
don't
size
think he's
does,
there
but
yet.
he's like
though. He's
his,
not there
his
yet.
motor isn't super high.
He's
Like,
not there
He's not
yet.
Cooper Flag, bro. Like, he's
No.
not hustling
No,
on
no,
both
no, no,
ends.
no.
There's gonna be times where you got a loose ball and he's not the one diving for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not dying over a guy like that.
I'm not
in my
either.
opinion. But we'll go ahead and move on into the playoff things. We got a Jordan LeBron graphic up there right now. That's for later. Andrew, we're coming. But we saw, we'll talk about today's games. Memphis lost by 51. There's really not much to say about it because we didn't think they had a chance in hell to win anyways, but y'all
That's a
could have
statement.
Y'all could have scored 100 points or something.
Yeah, the Thunder were tired of everybody talking, everybody saying that they're not that good, and they showed everybody in game one how good they are.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I did not expect them to win by that much, but they're a good team. They've been a good team all year. They're a dangerous team. I mean, they have the MVP in my opinion. So I'm not sleeping on the Thunder at all. I don't think anyone should. But at the end of the day, I mean, the West is loaded, so you really never know what's going to happen. I know. I'm looking at that right now. By the way, the Warriors and the Rockets are playing right now.
Oh, my God.
We were really high in the Rockets, but the Warriors are up by 23 in the third quarter.
That's
with 6
scary.
minutes
Dub
left.
Nation,
That's scary, dude.
I was right again.
Nate's been super
He's been
hot on his picks.
Um,
If y'all want to go back and fact check that on the other episodes, he's been hot. But we also saw
It's crazy.
Trent's got it pulled up right now.
Celtics
Cavs
Cavs
handled
dub.
business.
Won by
handled
20.
business. Celtics, they looked bad for a second.
It was tight until
Y'all
about
got it together?
midway through the third.
I'm not gonna hate yet.
Franz Wagner and Pablo.
This is
they were
exactly
hooping.
kind of what I said though. Their pace of play is so slowed down. Like if
Yeah.
you don't have like the defense to get the necessary stops to play like that, how are you gonna win? I mean, they went 500, so they don't win a lot and lose a lot.
Right.
They just teeter in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I think I picked Bucks over Pacers just because
I did too.
Honestly, the only reason why is just because I was like, you know, I figured Giannis would come out and have a game, and he did.
He
He
did.
had 36 and 12, and I said Giannis 40-point triple-double, whatever. But when you have Kyle Kuzma going out there for 22 minutes and not putting up a single stat, hard to win. And also when the rest of your starters can barely score, it's hard to win.
Shouldn't have traded Jordan Nora.
Yep.
Louisville legend.
Shouldn't have got rid of Chris
Nora.
Middleton and get
No,
Michael
yeah.
Williams.
Jordan Nora
in
was
all
on the
seriousness.
Pacers, though, for a little bit.
I think he is on the Pacers right
He's
now.
in the league still?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the
I don't
Pacers
know.
look good though.
Oh yeah. Shout out to me being wrong on almost every pick.
I was right on that one too.
Yeah. No,
Halliburton
the
is-
Nuggets beat the
Halliburton's
Clippers.
nice.
I was right there.
You
I
got
picked
that.
Denver.
You
picked-
picked that.
did
He
you pick
picked the
completely
Timberwolves.
opposite?
He
Yeah.
picked the Timberwolves.
I
Did
took
you
Denver.
pick Pistons though?
Uh, I don't know. I know
No,
I took.
he said Knicks. He said Knicks.
I might have took Knicks game 1, but I did say T-Wolves, Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I took Orlando too.
Well, I will say the two most exciting games yesterday was definitely Clippers Nuggets and Timberwolves Lakers, because I don't think anybody expected the Timberwolves to come out there and do what they did in game 1. To win in that fashion, I think it kind of shocked.
I think that's what happens.
No, but I think it
And like historically in
but hear me
series
out.
where you're like the underdog, like the game 1 is the game you have to get. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to get any of them.
And I agree.
And now they can get greedy. Now they can go out game 2, bust some ass.
Yeah.
And just close the series, because Lakers going into the series weren't going to win both in Minnesota.
Still though, I mean, you probably couldn't have told me before the game that the Lakers were going to lose by 22.
Well, no.
And honestly, to see that, it's a little disappointing. But like I said, it's one game. I know we like to say one game determines the rest of the series. Not true. We've seen series flipped. I still believe in the Lakers, no doubt. Still believe in Luka.
Me and Nate were talking about that.
But we did say that the Timberwolves is a scary series for them, for sure, 100%.
Oh, yeah. That's what me and Nate were talking about that. Like, yeah, we still got faith in the Lakers right now. But they go down 0-2, you're like.
That faith is starting to. Yeah.
LeBron's 40. Like, that's what people got to realize. It's like,
it can't go through him.
he's going to give you some minutes, but he's not going to give you that full.
They just got to play better defense. I mean, I
Austin
think there's
Reeves.
some certain
Austin Reeves
situations.
has to
talking
play a
about that.
lot better. Austin Reeves, buddy, you are on the same team as the greatest basketball player of all time and potentially a top 10 guy. You got to learn how to do something where you're not scoring. You can't be so one-dimensional in the sense of like you need the ball in your hands at all points. You have to be able to go out and dive for loose balls, get scrappy, hard fouls. Mm-hmm. Like, you did not do anything except ask for the ball the whole game. Do you think Luka Doncic, down 20 in a game 1, is going to throw the ball to Austin Reeves? No. He's going to go get his. And he's going to miss some of those shots. But that's why you have Luka Doncic.
Well, you got to say, Austin, it's like, look, man, they're calling you the best third option in the league. Like, this is your time. It's like, okay, you're in the prime of your career. This is where you should be putting up the best postseason numbers. And, you got to do better. Like, there's no and I think they'll bounce back. I think J.J. Redick's a good coach. I think they got a good team. I think they're going to bounce back and pick up a win. But like you said, the Timberwolves are scary. I don't know. Bro, it could be dangerous.
Let me get this off. If Julius Randle plays like that, I was hating last video. Lakers can't win this series. I have no faith that he'll do it again.
I don't think. Well,
but if he does,
DiVincenzo just pulled a Curry. I mean, I know y'all are seeing that.
Oh, yeah.
They just couldn't miss. Like,
DiVincenzo. They were
just step backs, throwing shit up, going in, and I'm just like, the Lakers were not.
Nate, how do we feel about it?
They were not.
I'm still upset about it, but.
So how good really is Austin Reeves? I mean, you have LeBron, who's arguably the greatest player of all time, and then you have Luka behind him. Like, what more does he need to be able to strive in his prime?
I think the answer to that is if he can't make this work, he's one of those players that's going to play for losing organizations his whole career. Does that make sense? He's never, what he does will never actually because he's not actually good enough. I know he's had games where he had like a 30-point triple-double. That's not 82 games in a year, MVP candidacy. That's not his reality.
But the whole vibe
he could be an all-star.
Everything changes when the playoffs start.
I agree.
It's like.
Yeah. If his whole series is like that, they're not winning either.
I guess prime example being the Warriors. It's like, you can't sleep on them. Kerr's championship coach. Curry's still playing the best ball of his career. I mean, they're up 16 right now.
Can we get a box score check on that game right now?
They're up 16 with 4 minutes in
Can we get a box score check on this real quick?
Yeah, we can look. They're playing right now. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Curry's got 23.
Yeah, Nate, you were right. Playoff Jimmy, 18-6-5.
Yep. Shout out Jimmy Butler.
Shingun's playing good. It's just Shingun.
You know what's so crazy
it's
though?
Literally only in Jalen Green. I heard so much like.
Wow, Van Vliet 28 minutes, 5 points. Dylan Brooks 28 minutes, 7 points. Jalen Green 23 minutes, 5 points. Amen Thompson 20 minutes, 4 points. It's either clamps or they're just not hitting shit. But it's funny to me how nobody wanted Jimmy Butler. and now the Warriors picked them up, and it's looking like the sneakiest trade of the season.
They could beat the Lakers.
We talked about this, the Pat Riley thing.
What do you mean?
When are the Warriors
and their
usually
expulsion,
underdog,
remember
though?
We
It's
talked about
crazy.
the coaches and, how that, like that old style mentality driving
Like
a player like Jimmy Butler.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What he's referring to, and he's really smart for bringing this up right in this moment, that shit is only going to take you so far. Do you think LeBron stayed in South Beach, one of the most beautiful places in the United States, for 4 years because he enjoyed it? No. That for a guy like LeBron, a guy like Jimmy, who you're going to bring in and you're going to let them emotionally lead your team, trying to sit there and nitpick what they do, it's not going to work. Pat Riley did get 2 chips out of Bron. I don't think it's because Pat Riley did it. I think it's because LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh did it, and Ray Allen hit a crazy shot.
Saved LeBron's career.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But this is about Jimmy Butler and that whole situation. Pat Riley, the Miami Heat should be embarrassed, to say the least. I understand holding your ground.
I think if the
But they
Heat
should be
had Jimmy
embarrassed.
right now, they would have kept it even more competitive. They were in the game today until the end of the game. And, I mean, it just goes to show, like, Bam, I mean, look, 24 points, Tyler Hero, 21, and then after that, it drops off. It's like
Yeah.
Wiggins, 38 minutes, 14 points. You need more production from him. But like I said Davion Mitchell. He's been a sleeper for them.
He's been really good
He
for
played
them.
good again tonight.
That's a guy who you can do that to. Davion Mitchell's a guy you can coach like that because he knows mentally he's not a star.
But like Haywood Highsmith,
it's going to be really hard to just continuously do that to someone of Jimmy Butler's status or
You
LeBron's
said
status.
Khalil Ware, good player. I mean,
He is a
he
good
had
player.
20 minutes with 2 points. Got to have more production.
What were you
than
going to say,
that.
Nate?
The Heat have done that with multiple players. I feel like Victor Oladipo was another one, I think.
Yeah,
in
it's like you're
comparison.
just going to rub people the wrong – you're going to rub really good players the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it makes your championship windows a lot shorter. But, I mean, Pat Riley, what can I say to him? He's, like, the best in the business when it comes to
He's old now.
like, owners and
You
general
know,
I mean, he was a
managers, dude.
hooper, too.
He was.
Oh, he was raw. Didn't he hoop it? Did he hoop at UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did hoop at UK. Yeah. I knew that was ball. I knew ball. No, that's crazy. Bro, it's crazy too. He used to be fly. I miss when coaches wore suits and he was like, he really he could really put a fit on, bro.
Yeah, the NBA.
His numbers
fits-
actually retired by Kentucky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
As a player, kind of just as like a
No,
basketball
As
specimen.
a player.
I guess
Damn, he
as
was
a player.
raw?
Yeah, he played
That's
with.
crazy.
We were talking about this at Easter today. My granddad.
Was he Adolph Rupp
It was like
or Joby Hall?
Yeah, he's
Joby.
inducted into the UK Hall of Fame.
yeah, but it was like him and
That's crazy.
is it Dan Issel?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. Yeah, I
Dan
think.
Issel hooped.
Yeah, Dan Issel, Pat Riley. That was they had a good team. But my grandpa, he was talking about all that today.
We pretty much covered all the NBA.
Well, just to
though, right?
recap, because we kind of went off on tangents there. In total for the playoffs, the last 2 days, we saw the Pacers go up 1-0, the Nuggets go up 1-0, the Knicks go up 1-0, the Timberwolves go up 1-0, the Thunder went up, Celtics, Cavs,
And it looks like
and it looks like the Warriors are going to close this out. So, not really anything that you couldn't see happening.
maybe besides
Other
the
than the fact that the
Timberwolves-
Grizzlies lost by 51.
Well, nobody would have expected that. But I think the Timberwolves winning by 22 is crazy to me. But
And by the way, y'all gonna think I'm rage baiting. I don't think John Morant's a superstar. He's a superstar because he can do crazy stuff. His ceiling is like not in alignment with where a lot of people put him.
I don't agree.
I hate to say this and not to cut you off, but like, do you compare him to a John Wall? Like,
No, I actually think John Wall at his peak is more complete and he's bigger, and he felt more human. John Morant, like, he feels like there's just like something not clicking for him when people try to like explain to him the stuff that's gonna happen with the stuff that you do. And I'm not gonna get too far into that because I don't know his personal life, but I'm talking about John Morant, the basketball player. Box score me.
Today?
Box score me. You're the best player on your team and you have 17 points in an effort where you scored 80. and the other team scored 131 points.
Jesus, the rest of their team didn't.
And I understand your teammates didn't really show up either, but we've seen this with them. We've seen, like, even when the Grizzlies were the number 2 seed in the West a couple of years ago, made the playoffs as the number 2 seed in the West, it's because Jaren Jackson and they had Dylan Brooks.
I mean,
And
this is
They were more
why-
complete.
Yeah.
Look at the Thunder's box score. That is crazy. I mean,
that's
Jalen
what's
Williams
crazy, too.
20, Chet 19, Isaiah Hartenstein 14,
Shea only had 15.
Shea 15, Dort 12, Aaron Wiggins 21.
Shea
They're just
makes everyone around him
That's what I'm
so
saying.
much
They're playing
better.
good.
There's the difference right there. That's exactly the point. If you look at box score stats, it's way like you might be able to argue Ja had a better game, but bro, like Shea's team won by 51 points.
right.
So yeah, I don't think he's even a top 20 like NBA player, and by efficiency ratings, he's absolutely not. And he can't keep shooting. He won't quit shooting himself in his own foot.
Right.
So
All right.
we'll move on to our comment section.
MJ or LeBron?
We're going to start with Andrew's comment. First of all, I appreciate the love. Please keep bringing us stuff to argue with you guys about potentially. If not, just agree with you on. It helps us with topics, but also helps us like maintain a relationship with you all. So it's super helpful in that sense. I guess I'll start it off here. I mean, LeBron's the GOAT. And I'm going to have this graphic up on the screen for y'all. Yeah, like MJ's got more rings and more finals MVPs and more MVPs. So if you're going completely by merit, then of course your GOAT's going to be Michael Jordan. But even then, I'm going to ask you, like, where's Bill Russell? When it comes down to all defensive selections, we all know that Michael Jordan's steal stats were fake. I don't know if y'all have heard about that, but there's supposedly this rumor that the old box score sheets, like if you go watch the film, they were giving him more steals than what he. I don't know if it's actually true, but I do think that individually, I mean, I wasn't alive for his era, so I'm not even gonna try to sound like that, but from what I've seen, obviously a very cerebral player and an agile defender. Like, he's MJ. It even kind of breaks down career player efficiency rating, which, like, PER is kind of a big stat in the sense of, like, what you're doing every game. His is a little bit higher than LeBron's. So if you're going, like I said, if you're going strictly by stats, it's MJ. And he clears by a mile. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the reality of what we've seen in LeBron's career. He came in with more expectations than anybody, younger than Michael did. Debatable if it was a worse situation, because I know those Bulls teams in the 80s were not really put together as far as an organization. But it's not like LeBron went anywhere great in Cleveland. And he gave that city life. And he saved the NBA in the sense of everybody knows Kobe wasn't about to be better than Mike. And they played so similarly that that's all it would have been for him. In my opinion, I don't think LeBron's full career has been about chasing Michael Jordan. And I think I think like when he did 3-1, it reinvented him in a new light because he's untouchable in that sense. No one else would have been able to do that against statistically the greatest team of all time, which Michael Jordan did not face competition like that. But Nate, how do we feel?
So this is how I feel. I feel that LeBron James is the greatest superstar of all time. But when we talk about the greatest basketball player of all time, I feel like it's Michael Jordan. But when you talk, you know what I'm saying? LeBron.
I've heard that take before, so I don't like completely, like I know what you're saying.
Yeah. LeBron is a great human. He's a great face. His longevity is unreal. I mean, we're
Crazy.
still watching this guy out there playing in the playoffs. I mean, he's gonna be in Game 2 this week.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that when you hear about the competition, the players that Michael Jordan played against, or you hear about the guys who covered those games speak on him, there's a different tone when they talk about Michael Jordan. It's like there was fear when Michael Jordan was on the basketball court. I mean, the guy was 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals. He was the Finals MVP every one of those NBA Finals. And LeBron's been there. He's lost. He's not been the Finals MVP. He's not been the best player.
He's been the Finals MVP every time he's won it.
Okay, that's another argument.
He's been the Finals MVP every time he's won it. They've never given the Finals MVP to a player except Jerry West, that of the losing team. So Jerry West is the only one that's ever done that, and Jerry West isn't the GOAT. So
that's another argument.
I had to hit you with that. Yeah. I had to hit you with that.
I mean, but that's really like the only thing that I can say. I mean, he's 6 for 6. The stats themselves in the game of basketball speak for themselves. Jordans are better. Longevity is longevity. LeBron's going to be the all-time leading scorer if he keeps playing. I mean, it's just how it goes. He's still on a starting lineup in the NBA at 40 years old.
Still an all-star. He's going to finish top 10 in MVP voting.
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, it's unbelievable, actually. And it's hard to argue otherwise. I mean, I've never watched Michael Jordan actually play in my lifetime. And
we just missed
watching this greatness it's hard to argue any otherwise. You know, a lot of people are going to have a different opinion that are much older, but I think it's just a generational thing.
T-Flow.
Greatest of all time, LeBron James. I don't got anything else to say.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I do want an older audience to watch this podcast, so I don't want to sound like I'm dissing that generation of basketball, but that generation of basketball, five years probably before Jordan came in, needed saved by Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and, you know, are they two of the greatest of all time? But yes, but neither of them are in GOAT combos, and it's not even close. And Larry Bird, the greater Steph Curry gets, the more points Kevin Durant scores is getting edged out of that top 10 conversation.
I mean, I think Steph Curry's greatness is up there. And
there's only 10 of them, though. And is Larry Bird in it? And that's kind of like what I'm saying is like, that's when Jordan came in the league. You know what I mean? Is that era. And he spent his first 6 years doing nothing but losing. By LeBron's third year, yeah, it was a loss, but he lost to the 07 Spurs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Greg Pop teams. It's like, how's he supposed to beat that?
Right.
We had some other comments as well. I know Jack said we needed an intro video. Dude, you're an edit guru, bro. I'm
not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, we're gonna get all this figured out eventually.
Yeah,
like
we're
with the intro, outro.
Budget.
But like this today, like we were just gonna make a quick pod, just kind of talk about NBA, talk about the comments.
Yeah,
we didn't really have a lot today, but we wanted to, you know, obviously give the update with Ament.
For sure.
We talk about the playoffs still because we're gonna keep talking about it throughout the weeks.
We just had some time. Wanted to knock something out.
Wanted to debate greatness.
Definitely keep commenting though. Was there anything else anyone commented? I don't want to miss anything.
I think that was it. We got W's from us.
No, hang on. Yeah, I commented a W.
Yeah, great job.
Oh, Miles said the Cam Williams slander will not be tolerated. Well, all right. I mean, I love you, bud, but I mean, bro, like. He averaged 8 points at
We'll see how it
Tulane.
goes.
Like, I don't know what to do.
We don't know what anything is going to look like until next year.
I don't know what to do with the Cam.
I think that was a pretty
good.
good.
The games start.
Until further notice, I'm hating.
Pretty good updated pod right there.
We've had a couple people reach out asking for features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're super interested in that. We want to get to that. You gotta give us time to grow though, in a way. I mean, we're still. Like, this setup is in my mom's basement. Like, we're not over here in Hollywood. So we're still trying to figure a lot of stuff out. Production will only get better with the more views, more engagement, more subscribers.
Right.
as we get more locked in. Football stuff will be coming. I'm pretty sure soon we're going to do some NFL over-under win totals for the divisions.
We'll talk draft more.
We'll talk
too.
draft more as it's approaching in the next week. There's so much stuff we're going to talk about. Patient with us. We're working. But we're going to go ahead and close it out for today. It was good.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Anything you want to say before you
Yeah,
go?
I just wanted to say, we have NFL coming up. Also, shout out to Kentucky baseball today. They beat the Bulls.
Oh, yeah. Saw that.
But, you're a Pittsburgh fan. You're a Buffalo fan.
We're all
I'm a
different,
Giants fan, so,
for NFL, and that's just based on, what we've watched and what we've liked
touch
over the
on
years. We don't really have an NFL team here in Kentucky, so, we cheer for who
Everyone's
we
a
cheer for.
Bengals fan, and I think it's stupid. I just don't.
I
really-
agree.
I
I
don't
why.
like the Bengals.
But like we said,
I like the Reds, though. It doesn't really make any sense.
we are going to touch on everything.
Oh, yeah.
And there is no guarantee that we're going to be talking only about Kentucky and Louisville. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but that's why we need you guys to just keep pinging comments down. The more comments we can get, the more topics we can get that are more interesting to you guys. But I think with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Love you guys. See you guys. It was fun.
Peace out.
Peace.
I'll knock it out.